Hello, my otter friends. I always wish I were an otter person. So happy, sociable, having a good time with your friends, at least, in the upright. Maybe you're not in the upright. You are the only one who will know the answer to that. Here it is. Otter, unobstructed joy, playfulness, contentment. Perhaps the most joyful creature within the animal spirit deck, the otter represents absolute bliss. Otter energy is the playfulness of a child available to us at any age. They have a giddiness and reverence for life itself without the presence of doubt, worry, or skepticism. Imagine yourself with a little more otter energy. What would life look like? What would it take to bring you there? The otter card begs these questions and wants to transport us to that precious place as soon as possible. The celebration awaits. I suppose this is a good time to point out that chemically induced joy is not otter energy, it's fake. Just to clarify, anyone who may be confused on that point. When in balance, full of love, needs nothing. When out of balance, gloomy, sighs, makes silly excuses. To bring into balance, dance party or celebration. Okay. Now then, otter person. These next 6 cards are to help you determine whether or not this is your reading. We have sunrise, new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. That sounds very ottery to me. Then we have vase, a secret admirer. Then we have tankard, celebration, fun enjoyment. Again, very ottery. Archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and pathways opening up. Wow, you are just so optimistic, otter person. You are definitely in the upright. The month of December could be important to you or significant in some way. And finally, we have a meeting with a stranger that could be important. Perhaps that just happened. Perhaps it will happen. It looks like there's lots of good times going on in your life. Lots of optimism. All over the place. Okay, well, that is wonderful. But once again, why are you here? Especially with such a positive start. Let's see. As usual, I am reaching for my oracle deck. First question, why are you here? Let's just try and get 3 cards for that. Why are you here? Well, I think you are going forward, so why are you here? Resolve, purpose, focus. That's nice. So definitely a journey, and otters do journey. They usually journey in packs, family groups. They travel a lot. Why are you here, though? So, steady movement. Oh, yes, I think I can. I was really thinking about that story this morning. Isn't that funny? You all know the story of the little engine that could, right? I think I can. So obviously you are focused on accomplishing something. And determined action, that's what's going on here. You have a journey and you have choices. All right, so you're trying to make a choice. Because you're at a crossroads. I can't tell you what choice to make, but we can look at your choices. What do you need to know about your choices? Oops. Or need to consider. I should say consider. What do you need to consider about your choices? First of all, your inner guidance, obviously. Your inner knowing, your true path, clarity, hope, certainty, confidence. Your core values. Oh, that's a good one. And of course we have woman, you or the person on your mind. A love interest. Perhaps. All right, so this is maturity, career, virtue, development, ambition, experience, and sexuality. That's a wide range. That's a really confusing card. I don't like that one. Not that it's saying anything bad, just that the range is so wide it doesn't make any sense to me. Lily. I used to find tiger lilies on walks when I was a kid. Those are not tiger lilies, but they're related. All right, so we were talking about your choices. Maybe this makes sense to you. Hopefully it does. Anything else about your choices? Some sort of a problem to solve. An opportunity? No. Reconciliation. Okay, so this has return on it, and this has reconciliation on it. And this is about solutions, insight, clarity, open. So you've got a door, opening the door. I really get opening the door to some sort of a return. This one, this row, I really don't know. It just talks about guidance. It talks about someone you may be interested in. But it also talks about career and sexuality and experience, ambition, achievement. Oh. Like I said, the range on that one is just too wide, which could explain why you need inner guidance, because all right, I've been working with a spread today. This one has 4 cards on it. And we will take a look at each card, each position, and probably what we need to, we'll probably need to clarify each one. The Animal Tarot is calling my attention today. So the first question, what mistake have you been making? Well, that jumped right out. You got 9 of Pentacles in reverse. 9 of Pentacles. Ooh, so a little too much, well, no, I think this is not doing the work. You have been called to go within and spend some time alone and really work on yourself. Cultivate yourself. Self-cultivation. And it's in reverse, so most likely you have not been doing it at all. The other possibility is I'm getting overindulgence. So the opposite of discipline and self-cultivation. Okay. How to fix or stop this problem? I'm not sure there's, well, we'll see. Page of Swords. Be the student. That's actually really clear. I was not expecting so much clarity from this. So yes, you need to do the work. You need to be the student. You need to be willing to learn. If you think you already know it all, you don't. If you think you can get by without learning, you can't. What's the next question? What have you been doing well? That's a good question, right? We looked at what you need to work on. Now let's look on what you're doing well. Huh. Whoa, I did not see that. That's so sneaky. I had no idea the King of Swords came out. Look at it. It's like in perfect position all by itself. Wow. This is the card that I saw come out. All right. That's amazing. So you have the King of Swords in reverse. And you have the Knight of Wands as a crossing influence. I guess. All right, King of Swords in reverse. So this is someone who is harsh, autocratic, tyrannical, wants everything their own way, is very inconsiderate, not willing to consider emotions at all. They just want to be 100% logical, which never works. And they know best. So why are you arguing with them? Just be quiet already and do what you're told. Now, the Knight of Wands in a crossing position, it may be that this King of Swords has very strong tendencies towards player types of activity. Player tendencies? That's what I want to say, I think. So, on the one hand, they can be very disciplined, mental discipline, but when it comes to their dating life, they really cut loose, and there's no discipline at all. What to focus on? That's the next one. What do you need to focus on? Wow, you are... Wow, why are you here? I mean, there's so much self-cultivation work needed. And you seem to be so far away from doing it. I'm really puzzled. But right now, the question is, what do you need to focus on? What do you need to focus on? Or what would help you the most to focus on? What should you focus on? Temperance in reverse. A lack of balance between the material and the spiritual. Hang on. I'm trying to get my cards sorted out here. All right. Temperance can be a card of miracles. Of course, you have it in reverse, so I would not count on any miracles coming your way anytime soon. Of course, this is supposed to be your focus. Your focus is your imbalance. You shouldn't focus on your imbalance. You should focus on getting into balance. Yes, please focus on the positive. Don't focus on the negative. Where your attention goes is what will grow. If you focus on the negative will grow. If you focus on the positive will grow. Yes, there are times when you have to really address some negative issues before you can move ahead. But if you are really here listening to all of this, well, that's kind of amazing, because this is not, this can't be fun to hear. With the card being Temperance, I have to consider that, and that it's in reverse, I have to consider that there may be addiction issues. Now remember, addiction does not always mean a substance. It can mean an activity. Like a gambling addiction. That's, an activity. It's not a substance. Phone, AI, all these things are possible addictions that are not substances. So, think outside the box. If you're sitting there saying, oh, I don't have an addiction. Well, most addicts say that, first of all. It doesn't have to be addiction. Secondly, it could be simply that you are living in an unbalanced life. You have, the otter person, so maybe you are focused on being happy at the expense of other aspects of your life. But I also remembered that when I first drew the otter card, practically the first thing I said was to point out that chemically induced happiness is not truly happiness. It's fake. It's false. If you need the assistance of substances to be happy, you are not a happy person. And everybody should be able to be happy without artificial help. I'm not talking about prescription medications, because that is definitely outside my field. In this instance, I'm talking about things like alcohol, weed, whatever other chemical substance you may use to avoid dealing with this kind of stuff. Or, to avoid doing the work that you need to do. So it appears that we have swords and wands. That's air and fire. I don't know why there's a dolphin on this one. I'm a little puzzled by that. But the Page of Swords looks like the sun to me. And I think that's where your lightness will come, from being a student, from diving in and really learning about yourself, doing this self-cultivation work, which it's a bit yin and yang here. This is definitely a yin kind of activity, and it will lead you into some darkness. If you need professional help, please get professional help. It's not... You don't want to get stuck in it. I think you're avoiding it altogether, but there is the possibility of you getting stuck in it. And as far as your crossroads situation, I think this is your crossroads. Are you going to be the student of yourself and do the cultivation work, the self-cultivation work, and become a better person? Or just a better version of yourself? Or are you going to stay in this mess? Nobody can force you to change. You can't change for anyone else. You can only do this for yourself. And you deserve it. You deserve to be a true otter person. To truly enjoy your life. But this is not the way to do it. And this is not something that anybody can fix for you. This is very internal. So, I think you know that. And I guess that is your crossroads. Are you going to go in the direction of your inner guidance? Are you going to go in the direction of your core values, finding your guiding light, your inner knowing, your true path? Or are you going to keep following this The only positive card here is this Page of Swords, being the student. You've probably heard the term beginner's mind. That's what this is. The Page of Swords is the beginner's mind. If you choose that path, you will begin to glow. Just like this, I guess it's a parrot? Cockatiel? I'm not sure what it is. But that bird is really glowing. And that's what you can expect. I guess I understand why you're here now. All right, otter person. You have the potential to be a true otter person, to be this happy, joyful otter who has adventures and has a great time enjoying their life. You have that potential. It is there within you. But you're not going to get there on the road you are on now. You can keep faking it for a while, anyway. But you are capable of being the true otter. It wouldn't have come out for you if that weren't true. And I hope you do choose that road. I am wishing you all the best. Choose wisely.